Okay, in this video we're going to go through a couple of practice problems from this ellipses quiz. In the first one, we're given an equation in expanded form and we're asked to write it in standard form and then give some components and characteristics. And also they ask us to graph it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take that equation and we need to put it in standard form. Alright, so we've got one x term, we've got two y terms, and then we've got our constant on the right, so we're going to need to complete the square for the y term. So I'm going to bring down our x term, and then I'm going to go ahead and factor out that 49 from both of our y terms. So we're going to have y squared minus 6y, leave a little bit of space, and then bring down the 343. Okay, so now completing the square, we take half of that negative linear y term and square it. Okay, add 9 inside the parentheses. And we want to add 9 to the right side, except that we didn't just add 9, we added 49 times 9. So 49 times 9 is 441, so that's what we want to add to the right side of the equation, because essentially that's what we added to the left side, 49 nines. Okay, so if we bring down our 16x squared, bring down our 49, and now we can rewrite our y's as y minus 3 squared. And on our right side we're going to have a sum of 784. Okay, so we completed the square for our y's. Now we need to get a 1 on the right side of our equation, so if we divide by 784 each of our terms, then on our right side we're going to get 1, and on our left side 16 goes into 784 49 times. 49 goes into 49 once, goes into 784 16 times. So we're left with x squared over 49 plus y minus 3 squared over 16. Oops, already got that equals. Alright, and that's our final equation. Okay, in standard form. Okay, a good thing about that, it tells us our center, it tells us our a and b values, and we can find anything else if we know those. Alright, so let's copy those into our blank. For our equation, we've got x squared over 49 plus, so that reassures us that it is an ellipse. Okay, so now we want to find the center, vertices, co-vertices, and the length of our major and minor axis. I'm going to go ahead and start graphing a couple of things. The center is where we want to start, so pulling from our numerators, the center is going to be 0, negative 3, or 0, positive 3, excuse me. Okay, so plotting that, go ahead and fill in the blanks. Okay, our vertices are going to be a units away. And because our bigger value is underneath our x, then we're going to go in the horizontal direction. So we're going to go a units away from x. So maybe we can go ahead and make a list of our a, b, and c values. Okay, our a's got to be 7 because that's 7 squared there. B squared is underneath the y, so b is 4. And we'll find c in just a moment. So if we go out 7 units, in each direction, left and right. Then there are vertices, so that's negative 7, 3 and positive 7, 3. Okay, our co-vertices are the endpoints of our minor axis, which are going to be 4 units above and below our center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that looks like 0, 7, and 0, negative 1. Okay, so then if we want to find the length of our major and minor axes, our major axis goes from vertex to vertex. So that's 2a, so that's going to be 14. And our minor axis goes from covertex to covertex. That's 2b, so that's going to be 2 times 4, which is 8. Okay, turns out we didn't need to find C. Actually, the directions do say focus. Let's go ahead and find our focus points. We'll write that in. Okay, our focus points are C units away from our center going along our major axis. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sketch in our ellipse. Okay, so if we want to find C, remember with an ellipse, focus points are C units away from the center, and we do Pythagorean theorem with subtraction. So C squared is A squared minus B squared. Okay, so we do 49, take away 16, that's going to be 33. So if C squared is 33, then C is root 33. So we take our center, and we're going to go root 33. That's a little bit shy of 6. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then somewhere shy of 6, and then somewhere shy of -6. Okay, and for our points, we take that center point 0, 3, and we're going to go negative root 33, 3, and let's get rid of this, and positive root 33, 3. Okay, so that gives us our focus points and the rest of our components and characteristics for number 1. Okay, number 2 says write the standard form equation of the ellipse whose vertices are 12, 0, and -12, 0, and focus points 2 root 11, 0, and -2 root 11, 0. Alright, first thing I want to do is plot these points. I've already made a axis, x and a y axis with a scale of 2 per tick mark. So 12, 0, and -12, 0 are my vertex points. Okay, so that tells me that my center is going to be at the origin, and if our focus points are 2 root 11, root 11 is, let's see, a little bigger than 3, so I think it's going to be times 2 is 6, 6 and some change, so it's going to be somewhere in here, somewhere in here, just for reference. We're not going to find a number value from that. But now we can find our A, B, and C values, which we're going to need. We know our center is at 0, 0. Okay, if the vertices are 24 units apart, half of that is 12, that's our A value. Our B value we don't know yet, but we know our C comes from our focus points, and they're 2 root 11 apart from each other, or apart from the center, excuse me. So if we want to find B, then we can do C squared is A squared minus B squared. Okay, so if we square 2 root 11, and we set it equal to our A squared minus our unknown, so that's going to be 144, take away B squared, and if we square 2 root 11, so that's 2 squared is 4 times 11, so that's going to be 44. Subtract 44 from both sides, add B squared to both sides, we get B squared is 100, so that means B is 10. Okay, so going back to our question, we're asked to write the standard form equation. So we know that since our major axis is horizontal, then our A value goes under our x squared. So A squared is 144. Again, our center is at 0, 0, so we don't have to bother with parentheses subtraction on the top. So we have y squared, and then b squared goes under that, so that's going to be 100. And on the right side has got to be equal to 1. Alright, so finally answer our equation in the box.